Hello, everyone. Welcome today. Um, my name is Promise Odera Onu, and quickly today I'm just going to speak on the topic educational incentives and reward systems. And this is going to be a very short video, but very, very important. Recently, JAMB results have been released in Nigeria, and a few students actually did extremely well. So a few students scored above 300, some 330 something, some 300 and more, over 400, and that's remarkable. Um, but then, what is the point of doing this actual video and what is the best practices is that elsewhere, when students do so well in their exams like this and they are standing results, you see the government quickly stepping in to sort of identify these students and give them scholarships and keep an eye on them as they progress in their studies and most of the time get them to work in government institutions, and that is actually the best practices that we're supposed to be doing. When I was in school, I know there was like 4 tiers of secondary school. So you've got the state school, you've got the federal, you've got the command, you've got the air force, and there are some different type of exams that you have to sit for, those gifted and all of that, and some of our classmates then did extremely well, and they managed to get into the federal. I thought I would get into the federal, but actually I came out on the states. Anyway, I ended up going to private secondary school because of strike back in the day. So my father doesn't want me to sort of stay at home when the schools are on strike, which is still unfortunately what's going on till today. Um, but that said, you see, if you're not, a, if you're, if, and especially we look at Nigeria trying to profess solutions to the government of Nigeria and things they should be doing, especially the Ministry of Education and the government parastatals that are looking into studies. You see, for a country that wants to move forward, that wants to be progressive, education is one of the in fact, education is the most important thing you should have on your mind. If we are blessed with human resource, people that are very intellectually sound, people with very high IQ, which I think Nigeria is enjoying. Talk about the number of surgeons, doctors, investment bankers. We have good number of human resource in Nigeria, very intelligent people. You see, then we have to take our education seriously, and especially once we see these potentials, we have to harness them. Somebody got in contact with me recently, and he's a friend, he's an old friend. So when we were in secondary school, we used to write these statewide exams, and this guy was brilliant. He was the best mathematician in our time. And unfortunately, he just got admission recently. And I'm like, what? You just got admission into the university after these years? To put things in perspective, I have my master's degree now and I have 2 kids. So I've been working since 2014, and this guy just got into uni. Howbeit to study petrochemical engineering, which is good. And I did tell him, I don't expect anything less than first class from you, because we had to work and study and still managed to come out with 2-1 and merit for my master's. But the point here is that for a student that was awarded by Society of Engineers, I know this because I went to the same examinations as a secondary school student with him, and two of us represented our secondary school as junior students, and then we had two seniors then that represented our school again in those examinations. And I know I came third in introductory technology, in intro tech. I came third in the whole state, and he came first in the whole state in mathematics. And even when our junior Wayek came out, he was the best in mathematics in the whole Anambra state. So for somebody like that not to have a university scholarship, and because of financial situations, he didn't get to go to university this year. And he's in 30s, he's in his 30s, he's my age mate. That speaks volume of how rubbish our educational system is and the incentives. Normally here in this country there is free education. In Nigeria, unfortunately, there is not free education. Our public schools and institutions are, nothing to write home about. The condition of the structures and infrastructure is rubbish. Teachers don't even come to classes because there is no incentives. So when I'm speaking about incentives, I'm not just talking about the pupils or the students. I'm also talking about the teachers or the government workers or the civil servant, the headmistress. Most of these people don't get their salary, and we're talking about months. And you see the stupid governors, frolicking around and moving with their sirens, answering your excellency when they don't even appreciate their workforce. Now, to the point, we need to have a system that is rewarding excellence, academic excellence, that is taking utmost respect and importance to education and educational institutions. You see what the ASU strike have been fighting and how rubbish, the government have treated them, the APC government have treated them in the last 7 years with all the strike that lasted over 8 months. And that speaks volume of how important this past government, or all the governments anyway, have taken education. How many reforms have we had in the educational sector? What is their curriculum? What are they being taught? You see, we are in a very fast developing era in terms of the world, moving forward with discoveries. Things are just going so fast. Even now, people have to wear things that can, in China, they can wear things that can actually like read their memories and mind and stuff. You have the chat GPT and everything that's going on, students using it to solve do their, assignments or homeworks as it may. And then in Nigeria, we are still very, 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 very backward. Our schools are still very, very under equipped. I mean, some places are still using a blackboard and chalk when we are in a digital stage where all students use their iPad to learn and all of that. So we're in a place we are so backward, and even as backward as we are, the best of our best, right, are still treated as rubbish. So using that example of this friend that got in contact with me, and actually he said he got this admission in Bayelsa, and there in Bayelsa, can you believe it? The former government, Goodluck Jonathan, the former president's village, Utueke or whatever it's called, don't have lights. So these guys have to, students have to put money together to get light for themselves. And when I say they don't have light, I mean blackout year in, year out, no light for 3 years now. So when I get to learn about this, I'm like, God, what is going on in Nigeria? Honestly, what is going on in Nigeria? I mean, from my set, some of us that, of course, are top of the class, let's say first five, most of us are doing well. Yeah, I still know other guys that are well positioned in society now, bankers, IT guys, and all of that, which is good. But a fair number of them also went into business because, of course, there is no jobs for them. So when you look at how rewarding the system is for somebody who has put in the work and burned midnight candles and tried to study to come out tops, you find out that it is very, very discouraging for the younger ones. And this is why these days nobody wants to go to school. And that issue of that problem is not peculiar to Nigeria alone. Even here in the UK, nobody wants to go to school again because they are looking at it like, oh, I'm just going to borrow money and be in debt. So why not I go and learn this trade and actually do well earning this money? I might even earn more than a graduate. And the good thing is that in this country, education does not just stop in the formal education. You can still learn informal education. You can still be self-taught. You can actually be taught you can learn a lot of things on YouTube. So even if you don't go to school to get a degree and you're not doing anything professional, you can actually learn a lot of stuff on YouTube and teach yourself on a lot of things and actually do well in the society. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what certificate you have, but what do you know how to do? Can you solve this problem? Do you have this experience? Can somebody refer you? If you have that good reference and you can do it, you're good to go. You make your money. But that said, there are some key positions you see that it is people who have gone through school that enjoy those positions. Like if you're the prime minister, you want to go into government, of course, you need to go to these Ivy League schools. You have to go to Oxford, Cambridge, and the likes of them. But then when a system does not appreciate, people who actually have gone to study, I mean, you need to understand what it takes to go to school. I mean, from 3 years that you get into kindergarten, nursery, primary, secondary, then university, you're talking about 20-something years investment here, right? And then somebody else drops out and probably he's a footballer, he didn't have to go to school, and he probably started playing football in his teenagers. He comes out, of course, he's well, positioned in society. If he's successful in his football career and he's rich, he's well minted. But then for somebody else who have gone to school, at least that should be a level playing field, that even if you're not as rich as a footballer, you should be at least be able to be comfortable, pay your bills and be okay. And that is what the society needs to make sure there is a balance in, because once we start having these students that go to school come out and they are roaming the streets, and there's so many examples of these people who are very, very good. I mean, speak to anybody of your choice, ask them who was the first in class or the top 5 in your class. Check where they are positioned in society today. You will not be happy with what you will see. And it's not because they don't have the brain power to sort of solve problems or be in important positions in society, but purely because there's no opportunities like that. There's no government opportunities or jobs that are created for this kind of people who have the brain power to solve these issues. So they are just there being dormant and dull and becoming irrelevant. And then imagine this guy, right? Best mathematician in the whole state, with his brain power, with his IQ level, becoming dormant all these years, right? And having to stay at home and only getting admission now. That's a shame. That's a big, big shame. Big shame. I mean, shout out to the Society of Engineers that used to give us the award then, that helped organize those shows. But then you look at even the society. There was a time we used to have all this cowbell competition. I don't know if those cowbell mathematics competition are still around. There are those things that used to sort of like all these inter-house sports or inter-house competition. Those things were healthy for students to sort of challenge them. But then things like the best students in JAMB, like what I was referencing earlier, you will find out that these things come out in the news. People share, but not a lot of people, pay attention. But if it is a small comedian or a small young content creator or is a young a teenage actor or actress, you see that people will appreciate it more because it's giving them entertainment. But for somebody who has done excellently well and come out with such a beautiful result, and there are so many of them in Nigeria, we're talking numbers. Some of them get a scholarship and not by Nigerian government, of course, by foreign governments and get taken away, which is what we are trying to avoid. Nigeria needs to know how to sort of look into their educational system, get the best of their students, and give them scholarship, not just to travel about. You see, you need to have a plan. You need to have a 10 years plan, 20 years plan, 30 years. How does research come by? Who does those research? It's your workforce, it's your educational institutions, it's your lecturers, your professors, and again students who know what they are doing. Those are the people who will do research for you. Those are people who will make discoveries. Those are people that will push the nation forward. Those are the people you call on during difficult times. Like when COVID happened, everybody was there trying to find out the solution. What was Nigeria doing? We always have to rely on Oxford and Harvard and all these, and good things, they always solve the problem because that's what they're there for. But then we need to find a way to appreciate these young talents, these intellectuals. So Nigeria needs to start rewarding educational excellence. When a PhD professor have written so many papers and research, we need to accolade them the right accolades. We need to give them the right respect. Not just when somebody is rich and he steps into an occasion, we are shutting down and singing, or when somebody buys a bottle in a beer parlor, that's when everybody wants to know who you are. We need to be able to recognize brilliant people, people of high IQ. We need to celebrate them. We need to share them on. We need to be proud of them, especially when you have all these students that are scoring close to 400 in JAMB. Right? When somebody does that well, we need to give them express scholarship, not individually based, because a lot of individuals have been given scholarship, a lot of individuals have been training people in school, a lot of celebrities have been doing what they can. The other day I was listening to Rufai. He just launched his book, and I was listening to his launch and his live on Instagram, and he was saying that he's putting some people in school, and he knows people who are putting people through school. Now, these are individual capabilities and what individuals are doing, but then government need to have schemes. That's what Peter Obi did. Peter Obi did it in Anambra State when he was governor. If you come out with certain amount of result, an excellent result, you get #1,000,000 naira. These days, you look at universities, when they get the best graduating students and they're giving them peanuts. I remember when I was in the university, of course, on your graduation, that's when you know who is who, right? So when they start calling the best in this department, the best in that department, and you see them walk out, it's usually a walk of pride, especially when your parents and every other parents is there and fellow students are there. They have to keep clapping. Yeah, for every student that is walking up that podium to collect best, and everybody has to be clapping. And that's the beautiful thing. Even when I was in secondary school, everybody is playing, having fun every day. But you know what? That last day when they will give the result, or the day of what do they call it, the prize giving day, And then they call the overall first, and we always know who she is anyway. Shout out to Nkiri, wherever she is. But then you see, these are times that intelligent students have their own pride or their own turn to be celebrated, and everybody will clap and cheer on, including the teachers. So we need to have a way of encouraging intelligent students, because they are the ones that will save us. They are the ones that will make discoveries. They are the ones that will rely on for things like doctor, engineering, physicians, and all of that thing. Professions that require high intellectual abilities. And then we need to find a way to imbibe them into politics. Right? Of course, we need to get them into politics, because there are three people you need if a government really wants to sort of be a world power. You need your military to be extremely strong, right? Now, for your military to be strong, it needs some discoveries to be made as well by your educational system. They need to work, of course, similarly with your intelligence system. Of course, again, goes back to your educational system because of the IT skills and everything. And then you need the educational system as well. In fact, everything revolves around education. Because for you to have an edge over okay, let me put it this way. When Russians and Americans wanted to step foot in the moon, right? America thought they're going to be the first to land in the moon, and Russia did it first. Right? Right now, Elon Musk has built a hotel in the moon. Those are milestones. That's how you know countries, right? There are countries that are well respected, not because they are share big or they have natural resources, but because of how their intellectual power. Take for instance a country like Taiwan. Taiwan is a small island, but China is fighting over Taiwan. America will not give up Taiwan because they know how powerful Taiwan is. Even though they're a small island, they are high intellectual value. Take another country like Finland. I've talked about Finland before. Small country, but because of their ability, because of their capability, how intelligent they are protected. Naturally, they are protected. Because nobody wants to lose them. Because they are the people that produce the highest electronics, the highest ability of processors and everything. So in Nigeria, yes, we have intellectuals in terms of the medical field, even in the entertainment. In fact, all rounds, we are very good. Footballers, look at Victor Osimhen, taking Napoli straight to Italian League, Serie A championship, right? And we'll give kudos to him. And then there's so many of them. There's so many of them we have in Nigeria that are not even celebrated in Nigeria as much as they are celebrated abroad. We have the likes of Okonjo-Iweala and the rest of them. So we need to find a way to give them national awards and celebrate them. We need to. This is our pride, and encourage the young ones to see these people as their role models and emulate them, so we can harvest, so we can grow more. Because the thing is, we have this in our genes, we have it in our DNA. We are intelligent people, so we need to encourage these people, so that more young people that want to go to school can go to school and aspire to be the best. When I was in secondary school, there is this man, I don't know whether to call him evangelist or motivational speaker. His name is Ken Katas. He used to come to our school and give us a lot of motivation, inspire to acquire that which you desire, never retire but refire. All those days, we need to fight, we need to burn the candle just to make sure we become the best. These days, I don't know if there's any push. I don't know if there's anybody trying to sort of go to schools and motivate children to be the best. Look at Nigerians in Sudan. What are they doing in Sudan? Are you telling me that Sudan is the educational system is better than Nigeria? So what are we the giant of Africa for? So these are the issues. Nigerians are always looking for education in so many countries, in Ghana, in places, abroad, far and wide, Middle East. Even whether you like it or not, that Nigerians in China learning Chinese to learn to learn their degree. So these are the things, right? We need to find a way. The body language of the government is we need to show more focus on education, increase the budget of education, build more schools, renovate schools, go to schools, encourage schools, even a mere visitation to schools. Say for example, you're a governor, you say every Just like what Peter B was doing. You go visit schools. Oh, do you know the governor came to our school today? Oh, the president came to our school today. They can motivate these students. If somebody was skipping class and they told him president came to school today, you'd be like, whoa, I missed. So this is where I'm going to stop. I'm trying to make my videos 20 minutes, 30 minutes, based on what I'm talking about. But I think we get the point. For the next few weeks, just because of the whole legal, what do you call it? The case Peter Obi has for the presidential election, I might not be coming online every day. But then if I have a pressing topic, I will come and do a quick 20 minutes. But yeah, the whole focus now is on that legal system. The judiciary needs to change, save Nigeria. We cannot allow somebody who is a criminal with so many questionable characteristics and factors to step in the number one seat of Nigerian president. And we, the Nigerians, both those in diaspora and those at home, we need to say no. We are tired of all these taking for granted, telling us monkeys ate money, snakes swallowed money, all the nonsense we've been hearing. We need to stand our ground and desire more and want more. And this is the time we're going to start. We are calling our judiciary to do the best to make sure they clean this evil record off our marks, and get Nigeria to start going to the, to the pathway of glory. Yakubu Mahmood has failed us woefully, but we are counting on the judiciary to do the needful and get Peter Obi to the rightful place, because that's his mandate that has been stolen. And we have to collectively work together to move Nigeria forward. And just to say this on this hot topic of who should be the Senate president, Igbos don't care about Senate president. There is no point zoning into the Southeast. We don't even have a credible person there. Not Oji Zokali, certainly not. Not Dave Omayi. He's not even a lawyer. He's an architect. So what is he doing in lawmaking? So please, Nigerians need to stop all this nonsense. We should stop using public office to reward loyalty and friendship, and stop using people who did not study. It's like getting your doctors and giving them agriculture, using people that study sociology to become your mechanics or engineers and stuff like that. We need to allow people to work and practice what they studied, and allow those people who have studied relevant courses to be in those ministries. We need to change all this narrative that we've been allowing for so long. Corruption have eaten deep into the fabrics of the country, and that has been the highest detrimental effect in Nigeria. And all these people are looking stupid because you analyze the last 5-10 years and you see that Nigeria has been a sham of a country. I'm going to stop here, and please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Forward this to any politician that you know that might benefit from this. And collectively, even yourself, appreciate somebody who is intelligent. If you have nieces or cousins that have done well in their school, appreciate them. Even if it's just buying them something or giving them little gifts. Oh, you came first in your class, I'm going to look after you, I'm going to get you a gift. Those are little incentives that could help them. We're supposed to have an incentive, when even if it's at the end of the term, the best graduating student or the best results, we get a laptop, we get a gadget, things like that. That way we encourage them to do more, and God willing, we'll get there someday. Thank you so much. My name is Promise Oderaona. Until next time, bye bye for now.